Hello and welcome to episode number 10 of Healthy Knees for You. Today's topic is how you and your knees can be more comfortable on a bike. Today we'll cover the 3 steps that I want you to follow, but actually I offer a free 6-point checklist along with the bike fit tips. So somewhere down below here in the description is a link to get that free checklist for both bike fit and comfort tips, and a space where you can write in all of your seat settings as well. So I want to make sure that you've got that handy when you go to your own bike for the adjustments and you know exactly what to do. I'm Robin Robertson, founder of Healthy Knees Coach and international best-selling author. I figure I was born with a crappy pair of knees so that I could help you avoid the mistakes that I made and benefit from the many successes I achieved in my long and sordid knee history. Fast forward past multiple knee surgeries, ultimately with both knees replaced, plenty of life experience and study into the latest research for knees, and I'm stronger and healthier than I've ever been. I want to help you get there too. I share these lessons with you that will change your knees and probably change your life to give you the strength, stamina, and stability to get back to doing the things that you love. If you suffer from knee pain or want to avoid it altogether, you are in the right place, friend. Let's get started. Okay, today we will cover how to sit more comfortably on the bike, because that's actually the number one complaint about riding a bike, is that it hurts your high knee too much. Yes, it takes 2 to 4 weeks to get used to the seat, but after that you don't think about it quite so much, as long as you're riding consistently. The second thing we'll talk about is how to hold your upper body so that your hands do not go numb. That's a common complaint with cycling, is that you've got numb hands. And then the third thing we'll talk about is how and why you want to get more power into your pedals. All right. Now, the mistakes that I often see people make is that they have no idea how that they should sit on a bike seat. And so I see all sorts of crazy things going on there, and I want to help you avoid that. The second thing I see is that there's an awfully tight grip on the handles, and that's going to be one of the 4 reasons that you may have numb hands. And then the third part is that you've never even thought about what kind of shoes you're wearing when you're riding a bike, and it does make a difference. We'll cover all of that in today's video. Now, in our Healthy Knees program, we explain all of this in our resource videos for you as well. We have over 40 videos there to help you on every step along the way, including the bike comfort tips, bike fit, what to wear, and how to prepare. Okay, so let's get on with the training. How to sit. First, I'll turn to my side to you so you can see my hip angle a little more. I want you to think about your hips like they are a bucket filled with water, and you don't want to spill water out. What I often see when somebody sits on their bike seat and reaches for the handlebars is that that whole bucket tips forward and water is going to come splashing out. And you're putting more pressure on the nose of the saddle. And frankly, that's not comfortable for anyone. So instead of tipping, keeping a flat back and tipping forward, you want to keep your hips with that bucket upright. So instead of that reach and tilt, you're going to reach and tuck. Reach and tuck. So I'm pushing those sit bones into the back of the saddle. I'm creasing or I'm hinging here at my waist in order to reach forward. So just check out how different that looks. Here's the wrong way, here's the right way, right? So it's a little tuck. It's like a C curl if you do Pilates. So you're pushing sit bones into the back of the seat. I'll get on the bike now and you can see how that looks. Okay, so when I want to make sure that I feel the contact of my sit bones on the widest part of the saddle, and then as I reach forward, I'm tucking into the saddle and essentially just resting my hands on the handlebars. Remember from our bike fit video, you want to feel like there's about 30 to 40% of the weight in your hands and 60 to 70% of the weight in your bottom. All right, so that's the proper hip position, and if you start to feel that pressure on the nose of the saddle, then just you can sit up and sort of adjust your hips again, maintain that contact as you lean forward. Okay, so hands. There are 4 points that might make your hands go numb. So first of all, just with me right now, take a big inhale and raise your shoulders up to your ears. Exhale and relax them down. That's right where you want them. If you hold tension in your shoulders, you might feel pain here or in your neck. The second part is you want to have a nice soft bend in your elbows. No stick straight arms or no overbent arms. It's kind of like pasta. So think of uncooked pasta, overcooked pasta, or pasta al dente. All right, so we want the al dente pasta elbow crease, just a slight bend. Because if you're outside, you want your elbows to help act as a shock absorber. If you're inside, you don't want to create tension by having your arms stick straight. Next part is your wrist. So instead of cocking your wrist and holding your hands on the handlebars this way or out here with a big bend in your wrist, you want to straighten out that line from forehand to top of hand, so that the weight of the handlebar is primarily in the heel of your hand here. So I don't even have to hang on because inside you're not steering. Now outside you'll want to keep a loose but firm grip, if you know what I mean. Not so tight that you're squeezing your handlebars, but enough that you're going to have control. But inside, you can just even let your fingers dangle for much of the work that you do. So look at this nice long line here, and when I grip to the sides. The only time you really need to go up here is when you go to standing. But while you're seated, here and here are great grip positions. And then, so that was number 3, wrist. And number 4 is how tight you grip the handlebars. You don't have to grip it tight. It can be loose. Okay, so shoulders relaxed, elbow slight bend, wrist is nice and long, not cocked, and then you can wiggle your fingers while you're riding. Okay, so that's the second thing, how to keep your hands from going numb. Now, third thing is your footwear. So sometimes if you have just a regular athletic shoe on and you're pedaling a bike, your feet can feel tired. And part of that reason is that an athletic shoe is made to bend. I'm going to take my shoe off here and show you what I mean. So it's very bendy, and that's good for when you're doing other activities than cycling. But in cycling, every time you bend, you're losing some power because it's essentially going out your heel movement rather than going into the pedal. So a stiffer soled shoe will probably make your feet feel better when you're cycling. Maybe a trail shoe, or if you have bike shoes, of course that's the best option. I grabbed my bike shoe here and I'll show you the difference. I'm going to try to bend this shoe. It doesn't bend much, a little tiny bit. That's it, just a little bit. And so this nice stiff sole helps to transfer all of that pedal power right into the pedal. So that means you're going to be able to get a little bit better workout too with the kind of shoe that you wear. The other thing that I like about a cycle shoe is that you can get a cleat that will clip right into the pedals, and I'll show you what that looks like. So now, instead of having to tighten down that toe cage, my foot is attached to the pedal. Not so scary when you're inside, and you get used to riding outside as well. I always have bike shoes with cleats in them when I'm riding outside. It just gives more control, and the thing that I like the most about this is that you have the potential to lift up on the pedal. And when you lift up on the pedal, you're using your hamstrings and your hip flexors. If you are not attached to the pedal, you can't lift up. So you're missing out on strengthening your hamstrings and your hip flexors. And they are very important for how your knee functions. All right, so to sum it up, and I'm going to start from feet first. Proper footwear, sit bones on the widest part of your saddle, relaxed shoulders, slight bend in your elbows, a nice long line from top of forearm to top of hand, and a light grip on your handlebars. And you will be vastly more comfortable when you are riding your bike. The other things I would say is make sure you have a towel, make sure you have a water bottle, and a fan, something to move air over you while you're riding. And that's going to make it all much more pleasant. All right, so that wraps it up for today. If you would like to grab that free checklist of bike fit and comfort tips, just follow the link below. You'll get that right away, and I hope that you like these videos. If you like them, please click like and subscribe, and I love to see more of you, and I'll look forward to our time together next week. Bye for now.